Lakers talk is on
710 ESPN.
I gotta be honest, I don't think I cared about MVP that much last season. I know the only MVP that matters is finals MVP, but damn do I want to see LeBron win MVP this year.
Give it to Montrezl in the right elbow, who gives it to LeBron for three. Good again. LeBron has 25, 12, and 12.
It's Lakers Talk with Alan Sliwa.
Let's go! Lakers win it, 137 to 121. LeBron with a monster game.
Doing it without Anthony Davis, Alex Caruso, Marc Gasol, Jared Dudley.
From the home of the world champs at LA Live, this is Lakers Talk.
And the Lakers are undefeated since the All-Star break, 3-0.
Here's Alan Sliwa.
Laker fans, thank you very much for tuning in. Welcome to the Dallas Mavericks postgame show. This is the Mavs postgame show. Our Dallas Mavericks taking care of the Los Angeles Clippers. What a great way to start off the show. You know, here I am. I thought this was all going to be just Lakers related, Laker topics, start off the All-Star break 3-0, and then our Dallas Mavericks just come through. What a good night. What a good night. I appreciate you guys tuning in. 14 years old right here. Just count me as a 14-year-old. We got a lot of good stuff to get into. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. So just finished Lakers Talk on 710 ESPN. It's kind of like the post-game show, right? Finish on radio, and then we come here on social. Thank you for being a part of the show. We got a lot of good things that we got to get into. So let me just start off with this, okay? So Lakers start out the second half of the season 3-0. All right, 3-0 after the All-Star break. And there's a lot of factors that come into play because, you know, you could easily get excited for no reason, or you could say, oh, Lakers are just squeaking by teams or whatever the case is. Here's the reality of where the Lakers are right now. They are completely beat up. Anthony Davis has already missed over 40% of the games this season. Marc Gasol, we've obviously seen the stretch that he's been out, health and safety protocols before the All-Star break, after the All-Star break. Add Alex Caruso in that first game that they came back against the Pacers, went out with a mouth concussion. He's still out, and they're both out tomorrow. Both Gasol and Caruso are out tomorrow. And here we see the Lakers getting a ton of help from a number of players. It's not like I'm just sitting here and, you know, I can only talk about LeBron James. It's not like I've said this before when I'm doing these social shows or even on radio. I cannot stand when people are saying, well, LeBron's got to do more with Anthony Davis out. No, he doesn't have to do more, and he shouldn't have to do more. And what more do you want this guy to do? What is going to be key for the Lakers is, are other guys stepping up? Are other guys starting to flourish? Are other guys helping LBJ, helping the best player in the world? LeBron doesn't have to put more on his shoulders. These other guys got to kind of carry the load. And what a, first three games for the Lakers. Even that game I thought against Sacramento where LeBron didn't play. If you guys remember that one. LBJ didn't play. A number of guys stepped up for the Lakers. But at least since the All-Star break, you're sitting at 3-0. And everyone is contributing. What's better than the post-game show when we get to talk about Montrezl Harrell putting up, I think Montrezl Harrell is averaging 23 points a game in his last three games, shooting 70+% from the field. I mean, I don't remember that type of field goal percentage since I was out at Echo Park about a week ago. I think I shot 75%. Maybe Montrezl shot 73, but nobody's expecting Montrezl to be what I am out at Echo Park. Okay, stay focused here. Montrezl has been fantastic, right? How about Kuz? Kuz, I had a stat. I put it in Lakers Talk tonight. In his last four games, Kuzma is 32 of 61 in his last four games. How efficient he's been. How much energy he has every single game. How he's trying to do a lot of the small things, the little things. He's been fantastic. Talen Horton-Tucker is not looking like a 20-year-old that is just trying to kind of find his way around the NBA. No, Talen Horton-Tucker is looking like a guy where there are times where you're saying, hey, you got to put THT in. We need somebody to put some pressure on these defenses, try to get to the basket. He had a couple games ago against the Golden State Warriors. I said one of my favorite stat lines from him, the 10 assists. I love seeing him drop off 10 dimes. So you got a lot of different guys contributing for the Lakers. The bench being absolutely fantastic. I think it's an exciting start for the Lakers in the second half of the season. And, when I say exciting, what I'm referring to is it's kind of a critical juncture of the season where you feel like a lot of these players can really, really come to their own before Anthony Davis comes back. I was making the case when I was doing Lakers talk. I was making the case that these next 30 days might be the most important stretch for the Lakers all season, all regular season, because really what you're trying to do is just keep your head above water. Really what you're trying to do is, stay in the realm of that top 3 in the Western Conference. Hell, you got a chance this week. If you can take care of Charlotte tomorrow, take care of Atlanta coming up on Saturday, you got Phoenix on Sunday, who's sitting a game in front of you in the loss column in front of the Lakers. You got an opportunity to actually stay within top 2 of the Western Conference. So we'll see how things play out. But I just think the start for the Lakers so far has been fantastic, and there's a lot of things that you should be happy about because Lakers are doing this undermanned without Anthony Davis, guys in and out of the lineup, and they really, really have bench players that are coming through right now that you think this could be great development for them. So by the time Anthony Davis does come back, that these guys, Montrezl Harrell doesn't miss a beat. Kuzma knows his exact role. Taylor Horton-Tucker thinks to himself, hey, I'm going to get key minutes. I got to make the best of it, and they're getting some great opportunities right now. They're making the best of it, and they're not relying purely on LBJ, who, by the way, has 2 triple-doubles in the last 2 games. And if you guys heard me earlier on Lakers Talk, I wouldn't shut up about how I want to see LeBron win MVP this year. So a lot of good stuff to start things out for the Lakers, and this is a perfect transition as we go into Kyle Kuzma. So I'm going to get into Kuz in just a second, but I do want to look at some of the comments here as we go into Kuz. Will the Lakers make a trade later in the show? Later in the show, we're going to talk about that. Marlon Enrico says Mavs Nation. Give it up for the Mavs. How about Mavs Nation, everybody? Mavs Nation. This is the post-game show of the Mavs-Clippers game. Lakers, by the way, now have 13 losses. Clippers, 16 losses. Getting a little cushion there. How great would it be to have, let's say Utah stays in the number 1 spot. It's Utah Clippers in the second round. Let those two battle it out in the second round. Okay, let's keep looking here. I almost bought a JJ Barea jersey. All right, a couple more comments here before I get into Kyle Kuzma, okay? Sliwa was the new Lakers center. That would not be good. All right. Okay. So I want to spend a quick second talking about Kuz. You guys know this. I get the opportunity every night after a Lakers game or doing Lakers talk, whatever the case is. We talk a lot about these individual players, and you guys know more than anybody how much Kuzma comes up in these conversations. Kuzma comes up a lot. Kuzma's a very polarizing figure for the Lakers. He is. Part of it is because he's really the only one left of the young crew. He's got so much potential. Everybody just assumed he was the 3rd best player for the Lakers. Last season, it was LeBron, Anthony Davis, and then Kyle Kuzma. That's what people thought. The reality is he's never lived up to that. And I thought this season, this was really kind of unique because now Kuz, Montrezl Harrell came to the Lakers, Dennis Schroeder came to the Lakers, and now you really were not expecting Kuzma to be a consistent player because he's not asked to be a consistent player. When I say consistent, as in, putting up 17 points a night or 15 points a night or whatever the case is. But the reason why I want to spend a segment on Kuz, very simple. when I do post-game shows, there's a lot of times that I'll talk about Kuz for a second. And if he has a good game, we're all excited about Kuz. And then the next game or the next two games, I won't bring up Kuz, or I'll talk about how, well, hey, not much of a shocker. Kuz didn't do much in these last two games. And then boom, Kuz comes again. So the term for that is Kuz kind of in a sense labeled inconsistent. We get a certain Kuzma one night, and then we don't get that same Kuzma following night. The reason why I think this is the best Kyle Kuzma has played in his entire young career in the NBA, there's a number of reasons why. But I think this is the best version of Kyle Kuzma that we've got all season for his entire career, and I'm talking specifically about the season, and I'll tell you why. There's ways to contribute on this Lakers team. Kuz got his contract. You know he's going to be around now. He got paid. He got good money for his role and what he's asked to do. He's already won an NBA championship. We all know that he's got a fantastic skill set. How can you affect games on a consistent basis? How can you affect games on a night in, night out basis? It can't just all be on scoring. You can't come into a game every single night and think, well, I'm going to get 20 shots up. On this Lakers team, it's not happening. What Kuz has been able to do this year, and specifically these last, I would say his last 2-3 weeks or so, the dude's effective when he's on the floor. Okay, maybe he's crashing the glass and he's getting rebounds. Maybe he's hitting the offensive glass. Maybe he's throwing some nice dimes here and there, making the right basketball play. Maybe he's turning up a good shot for a great shot. Maybe he's making an extra pass. Maybe he's hustling on the defensive side. This is why I think Kuzma's playing the best basketball he's played his entire career, is because Kuzma is helping affect the game for the Lakers. As a whole, for the Lakers, he's helping affect the game. I don't think he's playing outside of his natural ability. I don't think he's trying to do too much. I don't think he's forcing things. This is what makes, in my opinion, Kuzma playing the best ball he's played in his life. And got to be proud of the guy. I mean, I truly believe that. You know, I'm enjoying seeing these games and saying, look at Kuz dropping another 16 points, but he did it efficiently. Look at Kuz, 2 block shots in this game. Wow, did Kuz grab 13 rebounds in this one? I mean, these are the types of opportunities that he's going to get because Anthony Davis is out, Gasol is out. Lakers need, somebody to shine from a big man perspective. But do you know how big this is for Kuz to know that he could do this on a night in, night out basis? So even when Anthony Davis does come back, Kuz's confidence should be at a different level. His ability to understand what his strengths are, his ability to come off the bench. I think all that is, obviously big. I did hear Laker fans. Let me read off a couple of these comments here. I'm going to do it in just a second. But I do, hear Laker fans, and I'm with you, when Montrezl doesn't get enough playing time, or if Kuz, Kuz was in the starting lineup for a while. I think Coach Vogel made a really smart decision in these last 4 or 5 games, whatever it is. I can't remember how many games it's been. Markieff Morris is starting. You're starting to see Damian Jones in the starting lineup. I like the Lakers keeping Montrezl Harrell and Kyle Kuzma coming off the bench. That should be their roles. Bench guys come in. Yesterday, I thought it was powerful. There we are playing the Timberwolves. I know Timberwolves are nothing. But, 6 minutes, 5 minutes left in the first quarter. And then you just see Montrezl Harrell and Kuzma checking in together. I'm like, damn. Can you think about that for a second? The NBA is probably sitting around saying, these 2 dudes are coming off the bench. These 2 dudes should be starting on most teams in the NBA. They're coming off the bench for the Lakers. So hats off to Kuz and the way he's been playing. Okay, here we go here. Let me read off a couple here. Levi Jose on YouTube. Kuzma playing with a championship team will extend his career so much further. By the way, great point. That's a great point. Somebody at a young age that can play on a championship team, that's big time. That's huge to have that at this stage of your career and just kind of learn how important that is. He could be playing in the league for easily another, 10 years, no question about it, because he's a champion. He knows how to play on good teams. He understands his role. Let me read off another one here. Moshi Mitrani says Mavs Nation. I get it. I'm with you on Mavs Nation. I understand it. Okay, a couple more here. E to the A Prito on Periscope. Kuz's defense still needs improvement. Don't disagree with that, but I'll tell you something. Sometimes you got players that are out there in the league and they just want to be offensive players. Kuz could have easily fallen into this trap. Easily could have. But then you start looking, okay, is the effort there? Are you questioning whether he wants it or his drive? You're not questioning any of that. Markieff Morris, who came on Lakers Talk earlier today at 7:30, he came on. I asked him specifically about Kuz, and he said Kuz has got a great work ethic. He wants to be better. So that part of Kuzma, I don't think we have to question. All right, let me get a couple more here for Kuz, and then we'll move on to the next topic. Aniket Mohan, Kuz is the chameleon. He can adapt to many situations. Well, he certainly has got to do it with the Lakers, and I think he's trying to do it right now. You get one more on here. This one's interesting. On YouTube, J8. Same thing every year with Kuz. Different player with AD there. Well, this is going to have to be his big adjustment, right? AD comes back. You want to find ways to stay in games. Do all the other little things. Hit your open jumpers when you get it. Play solid defense. Be a pest on defense. Go grab some offensive rebounds. Grab some boards on the defensive side, and he'll find opportunities to play. Okay. Oh, so many comments about our Mavs right now. So many comments. Okay, a couple things I want to do here real quick. Number one, quick shout out. Power Pro Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Appreciate their partnership on the stream here. Local business, as big as a Laker fan as you're going to find as far as their ownership goes, really all their employees. Based out here in Southern California, 3 locations in SoCal. Very simple. You got an issue with your plumber. You got an issue with your heater right now with how cold it's been in the summer. You have an issue with your air conditioner. PowerProPlumbing.com. All right. If you ever run into an issue, support them. They support us. And obviously, we appreciate their partnership. All right. I got people now. Brown Phillip on YouTube. Power Pro Arena. Yes, this is the Power Pro Arena. Okay, let's do some roll call. Where are you guys tuning in from, Laker fans? Let's go. Let's get going here. 3-0 after the All-Star break. Lakers starting to play some good basketball. Mavs taking down the Clippers earlier tonight. We got a lot of good stuff going right now. Tell me where you guys are tuning in from, and I'll give you guys a quick shout out. It's a good point. Spoolie10 says, when is King Taco going to sponsor? I don't know. Reach out to them. I need another branch. I need some help here. Somebody get at King Taco. Let them know what's going on here. All right. Where's everybody tuning in from? We got Lagos, Nigeria in the house. Thank you for being a part of the show. Los Santos in the house. Dallas. Special shout out to Dallas tonight. North Hollywood, Upland. Thank you for being a part of the show. Goose Creek, South Carolina. Look at Laker fans all over the place. Los Santos, Grove Street. Thank you for being a part of the show. Anaheim in the house. Lake Forest, California. Orlando. The Philippines, San Francisco in the house. East LA. New Jersey. Redondo. San Luis Obispo. Pepsi Arena. It's not Pepsi Arena anymore. It's Ball Center. By the way, Charlotte lost today to Denver. Lakers got Charlotte tomorrow. So keep that one in mind. Virgin Islands, thank you for being a part of the show. San Juan, Philippines. Taiwan. Paris, California. Indiana. Indianapolis. Pennsylvania. North Hills, LA. Texas, Bay Area. If I miss you, just be patient. Keep putting it on. And I'll give you guys a shout out. Appreciate everybody being a part of the show. By the way, there's nothing better than these social shows. Honestly, there's nothing better. Just like the interaction. It's so calm, cool, and collective. Got to enjoy these shows. Somebody's inside the Clippers locker room. Someone's in Salt Lake City. Gun Barrel, Colorado. I read that right? I don't know. Indonesia in the house, Liberty City, American Airlines Center, Minneapolis, Cerritos, Taiwan. Appreciate you all being a part of the show. Night Bats, Echo Park, don't do it. I was driving in today, and I drove through Echo Park, and there was a great sign that just said Echo Park. And I'm like, Al, get out of the car, take a picture of this, and throw it up on YouTube or some of the other social. And I didn't do it. All right, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. We'll see. Okay, let's keep moving on here. So I want to ask Laker fans here about, should the Lakers make a big move? Should the Lakers make a move that would potentially trade away some of their young pieces, right? Lakers are in a position right now where every year with LeBron James, you're trying to go all in. There is no, well, we're building for the future. I mean, honestly, every single year from this point on, you're trying to go all in. So your chips, you're putting them at the center every year until LeBron James decides that he's going to hang them up or he's done playing for the Lakers, whatever the case is, right? I had Mark Medina on from USA Today. By the way, full 2 hours, Lakers Talk. You can catch it on the ESPN app or on iTunes. Search Lakers Talk with Alan Sliwa. Full 2 hours will be there. Markieff Morris was on. I'll talk a little bit about that interview a little bit later in the show. And Mark Medina was on. So Medina was saying that, Lakers are in a unique position right now because you got some trade assets. But that doesn't mean you just go out there and you start trading all these young pieces away. And I'm talking about THT. I'm talking about Caruso. You got some young pieces. You got some young assets. Well, typically when you're trying to go all in, you're trying to win an NBA championship, you're trying to go back-to-back, whatever the case is, you don't really hold on to assets. You just kind of go all in. And you try to see if you can go stack another championship. Lakers are certainly trying to do that with championship number 18. I'm going to give you guys my honest feeling of what I think the Lakers will do over this. March 25th is a trade deadline. I don't think Lakers will make a big move. This reminds me of last season. Last season, if you guys remember, come towards the trade deadline, I was telling Laker fans, or I was, mentioning that they got to go get Marcus Morris. I'm like, you got to go get Marcus Morris. You got to have a guy like that can go up against the Clippers. And I felt like Clippers trading for Marcus Morris had more to do. As much as they wanted him, they also wanted to make sure they kept him away from the Lakers. So what did the Lakers do? They gave up no assets. In my opinion, the better fit was Markieff Morris. They kept Kuz. They kept all these other young guys. And they got Markieff Morris at, what's Markieff making now? A couple $1 million a year. Marcus Morris signed a $64 million deal with the Clippers, 4-year deal. And Markieff's role is perfect for the Lakers. Perfect for the Lakers. So I bring that up because can the Lakers go out and potentially go to, try to make some type of a deal? Yeah, they can. But the reality is I have a feeling the Lakers will play it out similar like they did last year. They are going to try to work the buyout market. That's going to be where they try to address some of their needs. Now, it's not like you could address all your needs there because, I'm going to get into this in just a second. My top stories for the NBA, there were some trades that went down today. So players that you thought were going to, potentially have a shot with the Lakers are now off the board. But if you ask me, I don't think the Lakers are going to make any big moves. I think they're going to try and add a player or two, a piece or two in the buyout market. You could already see how Damian Jones can be an impact player for the Lakers based upon just getting opportunities and kind of being that rim protector. I'm not saying that that's going to be the guy. I'm saying that I just don't think the Lakers are going to go make some type of a trade. And, one of the things Mark Medina was saying is he doesn't think the Lakers need to go make a trade. If the buyout market presents an opportunity, all you really need is Anthony Davis to come back healthy, and you got a shot at winning a championship. Okay. Let me read off a couple of things. YouTube, Abraham Ing. Yes, you are right, Alan. I don't remember what I was right on, but I agree. I don't know which point you're referring to, but I freaking agree. Couldn't agree more. Dallas, Texas, thank you for tuning in. Let me and Oldo on YouTube. We'll improve if we trade either KCP or Schroeder, but mostly KCP. That ain't happening. KCP is staying right where he is, and that dude will come through in the playoffs. Anaket, Keefe is so much better. You're not kidding. I mean, if we're talking about how Lakers ended up with Markieff last year, I mean, I would have been already fired as a general manager. They'd have took me out of town. Abraham says, wait for buyout market, no trades for us. Okay, we'll see what happens. Okay, perfect transition here. I want to go to a couple top NBA stories. A couple things went down earlier today, and the transition here, obviously, what I'm referring to is a couple trades that happened earlier today. So you had Trevor Ariza, which is a name. I mean, even on this show, when I do the show weekly or whatever the case is, Haiti, thank you for tuning in. Charlotte, thank you for being a part of the show. Portugal in the house, thank you for being a part of the show. But earlier today, we've done this show, and I've heard people say Trevor Ariza and PJ Tucker. And you guys have heard me talk about how a 3-and-D guy is an important piece for the Lakers. If they could add a rim protector and a 3-and-D guy with those two roster spots that they have, fantastic. Remember, Damian Jones is just on a second 10-day contract. And he's done, I think he's done good for the Lakers. But if you can upgrade at the position, you upgrade the position. We'll see what eventually happens. So those are two 3-and-D guys that we thought maybe the Lakers have a chance at. They're off the table now. PJ Tucker ends up with the Milwaukee Bucks. A player that I like PJ Tucker. I like his style. He's got championship pedigree. He's been on teams that have been competing for a championship. He wanted the hell out of Houston because he wanted a chance at a championship. And he's going to go play for a team that is competing for one. Do I think Milwaukee is going to get to the NBA Finals? I don't, until they prove that they can. Why would I believe that they're going to be there? But PJ Tucker ends up with Milwaukee. Okay, how about the former Laker, champion with the Lakers, Trevor Ariza? Ariza gets traded from Oklahoma City Thunder to the Miami Heat. So there's another player, 3-and-D guy, that's going to get an opportunity with Miami Heat. Obviously, the Lakers played in the NBA Finals against Miami last season. Where's Miami now? I know they're killing it lately. As I say that, they lost finally. But they were, I think, 9. They had won 9 of 10 games, something along those lines. So there's another piece. Trevor Ariza goes to the Miami Heat. Those two guys now off the table. So you really kind of start thinking of the players that are left. LaMarcus Aldridge, DeMarcus Cousins. See what happens, maybe a Hassan Whiteside, something along those lines. And then the big piece, Andre Drummond. So this is going to be an interesting week or so. Of course, LaMarcus Aldridge, the Spurs want to trade him. They want to get some assets. Of course, Andre Drummond, the Cavs want to trade him. They want to get some assets. But those are challenging assets to trade because of how much money is on the books. So it's going to be tough to trade those guys. If they end up in the buyout market, we'll see where those players land and what they decide to do and how aggressive, obviously, Lakers are to try and land them. I mean, I'm still under the belief if the Lakers got Andre Drummond, I don't know about you guys. If they got Andre Drummond, how the hell do you beat the Lakers? How? Explain to me how you beat the Lakers. We'll have to wait and see, but that seems like the player that everybody is waiting on. If he ended up in Brooklyn, Michael Thompson was saying this a couple pregame shows ago, saying, well, how the hell do you beat the Brooklyn Nets? Or if he ended up with the Clippers or something along those lines, now the Clippers can say they're on par with the Lakers, using that as an example. So the Andre Drummond piece is going to be obviously a big piece that everybody is waiting for. Blue Diamond Gem. PJ Tucker is awful, Sliwa. Well, if you had him on depth, he's not awful, first of all. Okay, it's not like I've watched him this season because I really haven't. But just knowing how he plays on a championship team, the dude plays tough. Okay, somebody else saying the Lakers aren't going to get anything. I'm happy-go-lucky on YouTube. Andre Drummond and LaMarcus Aldridge will go to the Nets, Clippers, or Lakers. David Sabatini, Drummond or bust, in my opinion. Some Laker fans are hoping for Otto Porter. Take Otto Porter in a heartbeat. I don't really know his situation. Yosemite, California, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you being a part of the show. Sliwa Wojbomb. What do we got here? Laker fans, what's going on out there? Now I got to go on Twitter. If you guys are lying to me and Woj didn't drop a bomb, I'm going to hallucinate. Let's see how honest my people are. Woj did not drop a bomb. Baxter Holmes with Woj retweeted, the NBA and NBAPA, the Players Association, have agreed upon ease restrictions for those in the league who have been fully vaccinated. ESPN has learned. Teams were informed of the expanded benefits in a memo that was sent out tonight. Story to come. Laker fans, let me explain something to you. I need you guys all to do me a quick favor here real quick, okay? When we are 1 week and 1 day out of the trade deadline, and we're talking about all these players, and you guys say, Woj, bomb, where do you think my mind goes to automatically? Okay? I have trust in you. If you send me a curveball and you don't deliver, I might not trust you the next time. I might not trust you the next time. All right. That's enough there, Laker fans. That's enough. So that's those are obviously the top stories when it comes to some of these free agent or the trade deadline, and we'll see how things shape out there. But two guys, take them off the table. PJ Tucker, Trevor Ariza earlier today. Both of those 3-and-D guys are gone, and we'll go from there. All right, let's start previewing tomorrow's game, the Lakers and the Hornets. Let's do that. So we are going to get an opportunity here to see LaMelo Ball for the first time. So I saw this story. I don't know. You guys see this story about LaMelo was asked by Dave McMenamin if he's excited to play LeBron. And he's like, it's all good. No problem. Hey, play LeBron. You don't play LeBron. I'm excited to see LaMelo Ball. I'm actually excited to see the Hornets. They got a young team. Obviously they got promise. And if you look at the Eastern Conference, I know they lost to Denver earlier today, 20-19. They're playing some good basketball. I think they had won 4 or 5 games in a row before that loss earlier today. And LaMelo that's an exciting player to watch. So tomorrow, again, Lakers, no Caruso, no Marc Gasol. Of course, no Anthony Davis. Dudley will, he'll be out too. And you got Charlotte, who's going to be coming in. They're probably flying in right now to LA. They're going to play back-to-back. Lakers are going to be coming off a day of rest. So I think Lakers will surely have an advantage because of all that. But I'm excited for this game tomorrow. I mean, there's certain players. LaMelo Ball is averaging just under 16 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. Do you know how impressive that is for your freaking rookie season and a player that everybody's been talking about for a long time because of Lonzo, because of LeVar Ball, and LaMelo's coming into the league. I saw a stat. He's averaging almost 19 points a game when he starts, but 6 rebounds, 6 assists, almost 16 points. That's freaking impressive. So it's going to be fun to play the Hornets tomorrow. But I will tell you this about that game tomorrow. Lakers can't let up. These are the type of games where you're just expecting the Lakers to handle business tomorrow, take care of the Atlanta Hawks coming in. Atlanta's playing better basketball too. They've won 6 games in a row. They're back at 500. So you got 2 teams that you're expected to win, but are you really expected to beat any team without Anthony Davis? What I'm referring to there is that every team will see an opportunity when AD's out. So that, I think, in my opinion, is going to be the key for the Lakers tomorrow. Don't take the Hornets lightly. They've been playing better basketball. They're going to try and move up and down the floor. Fast-paced basketball. You just got to play some defense, and the Lakers will get LaMelo Ball tomorrow. I think that's going to be an exciting game. So looking forward to that. But Lakers got to handle business. They do. And expect, no different from the Lakers bench. THT to play good basketball. Kuz, Markieff Morris, of course, Dennis Schroeder, KCP, LeBron. They got to control things from a starting perspective, but hopefully it's everybody contributing like it has been for the Lake Show. Okay. Questions, Laker fans. Whatever questions you got or comments that you want to hit on, get them in right now. Let me read off some of these questions, and then we are going to call it a show. So I'm going to look here. Got to also look here if we're trying to see if we can get Markieff Morris up at the end of the show, but we'll see. If I'm not able to do it, then I'll tweet out the interview. But let me say this, as you guys start putting your questions in, let me say this about the Markieff Morris interview that I had. I cannot tell you, that dude is so real, so honest, and so genuine. And, you enjoy having conversations with players like that because this dude is a pro's pro of just understanding his role and being okay with it, sacrificing for the team and trying to win an NBA championship. And that's all that matters. So I was excited to get a chance to talk to him tonight. He had some great things to say about Kuz, was making a case why LeBron should be MVP, talked about his role specifically on the team. Good dude. Really, really good interview with him. So I appreciated doing that with him. Okay, let's see what we got here. Will Laker fans be allowed back at Staples Center in April? I do not have that answer, but what I will tell you is Markieff said that he doesn't care if it's even road games where there's fans cheering against them. They just want fans back. So even if it's not cheering for the Lakers, they're good with it. And he was talking about how it's just so hard to energize yourself at Staples Center at these home games. Laker fans, I could speak firsthand. I'm at Staples Center for every home game. Ireland and MT are to my left. They're doing their broadcast. Billy Mack and Stu Lance are doing their broadcast for Spectrum. You take your headset off, you can hear the conversations. I mean, the Lakers try best as they can to put those speakers on and, all the fake noise and everything else. But you see Montrezl making a big dunk, LeBron hitting a beautiful fadeaway, and you're like, Staples Center would be up right now and roaring. And obviously that's not the case. So hopefully fans back soon. Laker fans, you know what I did earlier this morning? I haven't done this in forever. Went to a coffee shop. Sat inside. Laptop open. Prepping for the show. Did it all right there. It's been, I don't know how long it's been. It's been a year since I've got an opportunity to do that. So the reason why I bring that up is maybe we're getting a little closer here. Maybe Staples Center is going to have something, sooner than later. So let's hope that happens. Okay, read off a couple more here. Brendan Powers, latest on Schroeder extension. I don't know what the Lakers are going to do as far as that goes. I don't know if there will be an extension, during the season. I don't know if they'll wait till the offseason. I have no idea. But what I will say is I'm not too worried about it. I think the Lakers are in a good spot. I think Schroeder's in a good spot. If they wait until the offseason and they just, obviously try and win an NBA championship this year, that's okay too. I like Dennis Schroeder. I really do. And I think he's going to get paid. And I got a feeling, he'll get paid by the Lakers. He's young, 27 years old, I want to say. So with all that being said, there's a lot of upside with him, but I don't think you have to rush into a deal to get a deal done. So I'm not too worried about that. Okay, let's see what else we got here. No AD, no problem. Everyone has to step up. Next man up for us. For now, that's fine. But 30 days from now, no, you got to get Anthony Davis back. So playoffs start May 22nd. So we're sitting here on March 17th. So by the time I do the next Lakers talk show, we'll be 60 days away from the playoffs starting. I know AD gets reevaluated a week from Friday. Doesn't mean he's coming back, just means he's getting reevaluated. I would just say if Anthony Davis can come back by mid-April or even the third week of April. Give them 30 days before playoffs start. I'm good with that. I'll take that all day, especially if the Lakers can, continue to hold their own. Okay, a couple more here. Are the Lakers, Anthony Keene on Periscope, are the Lakers better without Gasol? So I know right now Lakers are winning some games. Damian Jones is starting for the Lakers. Montrezl is getting close to 30 minutes a night. Kuzma's chipping in. Marc Gasol's been disappointing this year, but I'd rather have Gasol than not have Gasol. So even if you're using him in specific games in the postseason, even if you're using him less because Anthony Davis comes back and Damian Jones, let's just say, is still on the roster because you didn't pick up anybody in the buyout market, or Andre Drummond went to a different team, you still want Marc Gasol there. It's a luxury to have a player like that. You don't want him to be a necessity. You can't depend on Marc Gasol, but I'd be okay with, obviously using him at the right situation. So to answer your question, no, I don't think they're better without Marc Gasol. I would rather have Marc Gasol there, and you figure out how you want to use him if you want to use him than not having him there. So I hope that answers that question. Gasol and Caruso out tomorrow, by the way. Somebody's asking about Myers Leonard. Yeah, I don't think that's happening. And I don't know what's going to happen to that dude and his contract, and obviously those comments that he made. So I don't know what's going to happen with Myles Leonard or Myers Leonard. Can the Lakers be the top seed in the West? So if you'd asked me this a week ago, I would have probably said no. I don't think they can be the top seed in the West. And I say that because, the injuries, is it really a priority? Utah's playing for the number 1 seed, but you never know. Jazz have been struggling, so I guess it's still, 2.5 games back. It's not like they're 5 games back, so it's still within reach. But do I think the Lakers will be the top seed? No, I don't. I don't think they will be. Okay. Couple more here, and then we're going to get the hell out of here. So, by the way, the Markieff Morris interview, I was going to try to attach it towards the end of this, but we're not going to be able to. So I'll tweet it out. I'll tweet out the on the podcast, and you could grab the conversation. Okay. How's the eye, Sliwa? Well, it's been about a year and a half since I played basketball because of COVID. And maybe about a year and 3 months ago, I got elbowed in the eye, and I kind of had a black eye during one of the social shows. But I still have people asking me, how's my eye doing? So I appreciate that. That's love from Laker fans. Some of these other Laker fans don't ask me those types of questions. They just want to know if Marc Gasol is the right fit. I got other Laker fans that get personal with me. Appreciate that. Okay, see if I can find 2 more good ones. Costa Rica, thank you for tuning in. Israel Donaldson, should we just wait for AD to come back as our midseason pickup? I mean, it's kind of funny because when we say we need a rim protector, I get when people say that. We need a rim protector. I don't disagree. AD's our rim protector. AD's going to play 5 in the playoffs for the Lakers. But you'd like to just have another player like that you can go to at any time to give AD a blow or give him a breather or whatever the case is. So, but here's the reality. 4th quarter, 6 minutes left to go in a playoff game. AD's playing the 5. That is your rim protector. And then just depends on the matchup and what kind of size they have. Then the Lakers are, obviously countering with different players as well. Ooh, Dan Inspiration, great point. Boston lost, Clippers lost. Can we get a fist pump? Of course you can, bro. Always love the Mavs. And I don't even know who Boston played, but whoever they played, I always loved that team too. Okay, final one, Laker fans. This is it. Final one. Little Italy, San Diego in the house. Appreciate you tuning in. I try to do like my Italian, Little Italy. It's awful. It's not good. I try. It's just not good. San Diego State in the house. Appreciate you tuning in. Don't tell me I'm late. How am I late? I've been here since the start of the show. Okay, one more, Laker fans. Oh, this is perfect to end. Perfect to end. Rodell Reyes. Should LBJ be this season's MVP? Laker fans, let me make this very, very simple. We always hear the conversation of the only MVP that matters is finals MVP, and it's not that important. There's other things that are more important. I don't know about you guys. I want freaking LeBron to win MVP this year. That's what I want. 7 years this dude hasn't won it. He's missed one game so far this year. He's probably the leading candidate to win it right now because Joel Embiid's out for 2 to 3 weeks. People are going to try and make a case for James Harden. Harden sat back and relaxed for the first 10 games or whatever it was in Houston. I don't think you can even have him in the category or the conversation. LeBron's got to win MVP this year. I want LeBron to win MVP this year. I'm not going to be that guy that says, well, it doesn't matter. It's just the regular season. The only thing that matters is come postseason. No, I want LBJ to get it this year, get it at age 36. If you heard Markieff Morris, I asked him about just, if you're making a case for LeBron this year, he just went into a rant of all the different reasons why LBJ should be MVP this season. So that's somebody that is in the middle of this thing, not the outside looking in. So, yes, I do think LeBron should win MVP. I hope LeBron wins MVP, and we'll take it from there. Laker fans, thank you. Appreciate you tuning in. You have to wait long. Tomorrow, Lakers taking on the Charlotte Hornets. Pre-game's at 6. Tip-off's at 7:30. Following the game, I'll do the post-game show. Then I'll do the post-game show after the post-game show on YouTube. So we'll be right back here doing our social show tomorrow morning, starting at 5 a.m. You can always start, obviously, catching everybody on 710 ESPN. Keyshawn, J. Will, Zubin, and Travis. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Lakers taking on Charlotte tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night, and go Mavs, huh? A little W there for the Mavs. Another loss for the Los Angeles Clippers. All right, Laker fans. Appreciate it. Thank you.